up, FTMTV? It's Rohan here, your Sunday guy. This week is week 35, and the topic is random, so I get to talk about whatever my heart desires. This week, the topic I've chosen is a little bit more serious. It's something that I came by on Tumblr, a post on Tumblr, and I was directly kind of concerned with it, and I have no one to discuss it with, so I thought, what a perfect opportunity to actually talk about it. I hope by choosing this topic I'll be able to open up a forum of discussion, maybe inform anyone who isn't aware of what's going on, and the reason I want to talk about it is because I want to spread awareness, and I want to really express my displeasure with the way that Canada is currently running itself. What I'm talking about is the identity screening regulations imposed by Canadian airport security. What these regulations state, and I'll read them right now, is that an air carrier shall not transport a passenger if the passenger presents a piece of photo identification and does not resemble the photo. This regulation also states that an air carrier shall not transport a passenger if the passenger does not appear to be of the gender indicated on the identification that he or she presents. Why this topic is important is because it directly affects the trans population of Canada, or anyone really who is planning to come to Canada and travel. It basically is a regulation that singles out anyone who is trans-identified or who doesn't fit into those gender categories. Individuals who are gender variant, someone who is trans and maybe has not medically transitioned but has changed their gender marker, or someone who has medically transitioned but has not changed their gender marker. This directly affects anyone who does not identify as male or female, anyone who's gender variant, any trans individual who perhaps does not clearly fit into someone's definition of what it means to be male or female. We're leaving this definition up to someone who has a completely different idea of gender than what we hold. It's an attack on our identity. It's a violation of our rights. It's discrimination. And I think it's complete bullshit. So basically, airport security not only now has the right to randomly select individuals for screening and such, but they also have the right to gender police now. Isn't that grand? When I first heard this, I was really shocked. I was really taken aback by it. Here I was thinking that, I live in Canada, this great nation that is so open-minded, a country who prides itself on its social awareness and its human rights initiatives, and has been ahead of its time in human rights and gay rights, and now we've kind of transformed into this nation that's become paranoid and so concerned with security that they're willing to violate the rights of a portion of their population. It's bullshit that such a regulation can be passed in this country. It's sad that something like this would be allowed. I want to remain open-minded and thinking that this was passed without having considered trans people. I think that would be better than having it passed knowing that this would affect a large portion of the population. There are aspects of this regulation that I understand. For instance, the part of it that states that, if your photo identification doesn't match what you look like, then, you shall not be granted access to the plane. I can understand this because the whole point of photo ID is that it matches what you look like, that's a reference to who you are. But as for the second regulation, it discriminates against anyone who is trans-identified. It makes no sense to me. I don't think it's necessary. I can't see a point to it besides the fact that it discriminates. What I would like to know is who is to be the judge of who matches these gender markers? What are the requirements for passing? Who are we leaving this interpretation up to? Is this interpretation being left up to the same people who constantly randomly select me whenever I enter an airport who tell me that I need to get my bag checked, who put me through body scans because I look like a suspicious individual? Are these same people? The ones who ask me to pull my vehicle over when I pass through their borders? The ones who are asking me questions like, are you smuggling lamb meat into our country because of my culture? The ones who say, are you affiliated with any kind of terrorist organization in your home country because of where I come from? These same people who hold biased opinions towards people of certain races and classes and religions and sexuality and now gender. Because before it wasn't hard enough for us to travel, right? They need to make it even more difficult and put this on us. I wonder if these people who have been given the power to deny access to someone who doesn't fit into these gender categories, if they are trans knowledgeable. Have they been briefed on the trans community? Do they know what's going on? Do they know that there are people out there that don't fit into these categories of male and female so neatly as some? Probably not. This regulation worries me because I'm someone who loves to travel. I live in Canada, and I like to leave my city at least once a year, if possible. It worries me that someone can tell me that I can't get on a plane because I don't fit into their definition of what it means to be a male or what it means to be a female. You know, I would have hated to be a person who was unaware of this and to have stepped into an airport thinking I'm going somewhere and being stopped because I don't fit someone's definition of what it means to be a man or a woman. They tell us that we can provide a medical letter stating why we look different and why we don't match the marker on our passports. As if it's so easy to just go to your medical professional and get these letters, like they just hand them out second after second. It's so ridiculous. I really hope that you will all feel free to make comments on this post. I hope that you will tell me whether you agree or disagree with these new regulations that Canada has imposed. I want you to tell me if you have any experience with this. Anything you want to say. I definitely like to hear your opinion. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say. Besides, I hope you guys have a great Sunday. I hope you have a great week ahead of you, and that you are all well and happy. Take care and see you next Sunday.